I hope your pants are off right now because I know mine are. Today we're talking about Michael Pittman, probably my favorite wide receiver to draft this year. He's currently going off the board at wide receiver 13 or 40th overall. Absolutely love Michael Pittman, and I'm here to tell you why we're drafting him with absolute confidence this year. Absolute locked in wide receiver one. We're going to do that right now. Let's ride. Welcome back in. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Jump in the time machine and jump back to 2021. Michael Pittman last year had a 25% target share, 26th in market share of air yards, 88 receptions for 1,882 yards, and 6 touchdowns. However, he was 44th in catchable target rate, 19th in yards per route run, 7th in yards per team pass attempt, as well as 14 fantasy points per game, which is 22nd. Now, listen, this offense should be a little bit better than what it was. I think this is an offense that we can reasonably expect to have a much higher passing volume this year. They moved away from Carson Wentz and went ahead and added Matt Ryan. And this is a boost for this offense, even though he is 37 years old. Last year, Ryan played on one of the worst off played on. Really all this offense had last year was rookie Kyle Pitts and then Russell Gage. The offense was also run heavy. They were 23rd in team pass attempts per game last year, but that really pointed to Ryan still being a good quarterback. Last year, he ranked third in deep ball completion percentage and eighth in accuracy rating. While you compare that to Wentz was still very good at deep balls last year, sixth in deep ball completion percentage. However, he ranked 29th in accuracy rating last year. So obviously a pretty big contrast between the two of them last year. Now, this Colts offense was very run heavy overall last year, but they were more pass heavy in the first half. Weeks 1 through 8, they had 6 games of 30 plus pass attempts. Compare that to only 3 in weeks 9 through 18. We saw Carson Wentz kind of fall apart over that second half last year, and they really took the ball out of his hands and really made him much more of just a game manager and just really rode Jonathan Taylor, which is one reason why I'm a little bit lower on Jonathan Taylor than consensus this year, because I do think this offense gets back to being much more pass heavy. Now, obviously this conversation is centered around Michael Pittman, and the main reason is that I love him so much this year is not just because he's an absolute stud and he's a baller, and I think he's going to take another step forward than what he did last year, but it's also because there's nobody else there. There's just nobody else in terms of target competition for him. Paris Campbell, who's a player that I still like. I just can't let him go. Maybe I should, but he's still never done anything in the NFL. Then you have Alec Pierce, who's just a deep ball receiver, and that is it. And I don't know how much of an impact he's even going to have this year, who is their second round pick. You have Ashton Doolin, Mo Alley Cox. I mean, there's just no target competition for him this year. And we know Matt Ryan can absolutely feed a wide receiver. He did it with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, and there's really no reason to believe that he's not going to do this with Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman can easily smash, the numbers that he put up last year. I think double-digit touchdowns is well within the range of possibilities for him. I think probably 1,300 receiving yards is also in the range of possibilities for him. And so just right now, I have him at wide receiver 9, which is a little aggressive, obviously a little bit above a consensus, but I'm just buying Michael Pittman this year. I think he's a stud wide receiver. 40th overall is terrific value for him. I think you could easily get him as whether it's your wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2. And it just makes it really easy for me to buy into Michael Pittman this year. Again, like I said, kind of recapping here, I think this offense is going to be much more pass heavy this year. I think they get at least the middle of the pack, maybe even a little bit higher than that this year in terms of passing volume. I think they want to throw the ball more. I think that's one reason why they went out and added Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan, outside of last year as a quarterback that's, just almost locked in every year for 4,000 plus passing yards. And like I said, a lot of the underlying metrics for Matt Ryan pointed to him being a better quarterback than what he was last year. And a lot of it was because of how run heavy they were and just the lack of options that they really had. This is still a great offensive line as well in Indianapolis. So I think there's a lot of things pointing for this passing offense to be a little bit higher this year. It's possible they could go out and maybe add another veteran before the season starts, but none of those are really going to affect Michael Pittman. And when you're talking about a wide receiver that has 150, 160 plus target upside, I think it's very easy to see the path to wide receiver 1 and even possibly getting into that top 5 range. It's in the range of possibilities for him. So I am absolutely smashing the button for Michael Pittman every chance that I can get. Take him in that, in that third round if he's sitting there all day, get a running back early, and then smash wide receiver from there. So Michael Pittman, smash value, draft him. He's an easy pick. Unless he gets hurt, I don't see any way he does not finish as at least a high-end wide receiver 2. I think he finishes wide receiver 1. With that being said, hit that like and subscribe button for future content. We will catch you on the next one. Bye.